Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well today, because today I just got finished reading the next interactive novel, Return to the Pit. So if you remember 3 months ago, we reviewed and theorized about the first one of these, called The Week Before, and week before that we read the prototype, the prologue, VIP, and now this is the second one called Return to the Pit. I'm probably gonna have that not as much to say as I did last time, because this book is actually pretty short compared to the week before. And also, this book isn't exactly as, intense as like the first one, because it's basically just a retelling of the Into the Pit book from 2019. There are some new stuff, and we're mainly just gonna talk about that. All the other stuff, but like about the old stuff you probably already know, we're just gonna skip over that, because I'm pretty sure by now you already know the presence of Into the Pit. Most of you have played the game, so, but in case you haven't, spoiler warning, either read this, read the original, read the graphic novel, play the game, or watch a playthrough of it. Either mine, Dako's, whoever's, of the video game. Let's get straight into this. So, like we did before, I'm just gonna be reviewed. This ain't like some type of summarization. Personally, it was good. It's not as good as the week before, mainly because that was a new experience. This is just the same thing, but a lot bigger and with choices. It's a lot less linear than the original, because that one had a specific target and knew exactly what it was kind of like organized in a way. Because in the week before, it was separated into chapters where you had night 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the chill time. Here, it's a lot more randomized in such ways. Like, there's some sections that are just shifts you from the beginning to the straight up end of the book, and there's sections where you're at the end, but it shifts you back to the beginning. It's like a full-on twisting game. It's very mix-matchy and such. But like before, I'll talk about all the items that we have here with this, because I have a page of notes in my math notebook, surprisingly. I don't know why I use this out of all things, but we have it right here. Alright, let's read some of this, even though I just read the book, so there'll be some things I can talk about. So, there are 4 endings, unlike the original one, which I think there was like 5 or something. And there's some things that we need to talk about. So, as for deaths, there's a lot less of them. There's like 29 of them, with 5 or so of them, some reason involving car crashes. Yeah, Oswald just gets into a lot of car crashes, a lot. But others, most of them really involves just him getting killed eaten by Pit Bonnie. One of them actually involves someone else's death, or 2 people dying. We'll get to those later. And there's 2 other ones that are very interesting. One of them, he gets killed by Chica because he was running to a family, and they for some reason turned into Chica. There's one thing that was interesting, but we'll get to that later. One thing I want to talk about is how this book takes place in literal modern era, not 2019 or 2015, like actual modern era. Because there's one point where Oswald actually mentions TikTok. Yes, it's been confirmed right now. TikTok exists in the FNAF universe. I don't know how I feel about this. I already know Oswald's just to be so upset at this. Though I don't think it will be matter, because it's going to be banned in a few weeks. And honestly, I barely pay attention to my TikTok account. I'm honestly going to be removing it from my descriptions, just because it honestly doesn't matter to me, because it's just gonna get banned. So don't expect TikTok to be there anymore. Just only focus on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky. Actually, I don't know if I'm gonna continue adding Reddit to it anymore. I think I might start removing that as well, because there's no point. Abandon my Reddit and abandon my TikTok. We're just gonna ignore those and move on. Anyway, back to what I was trying to say. Okay, let's talk about some of the items you get, because it's not as much as the before. You get a flashlight, a Freddy Fazbear figure, bunny ears, and a gold token. Well, you can sometimes get half of one and later collect the other half. And the gold token is really important. So, as for the story, it goes by before if you make the right choices. There's one choice in particular to me that goes in a weird, odd direction. See, if you decide to run away from your parents, I think that's how it goes. You end up meeting someone, and you just some reason get into their car. And you later learn it's actually your pal Chip from present day. But, oh, you know, Chip from the past, his Oswald's friend, but he's much older now. And we learn this strange plot twist. Where Gabriella, during the school sections, it turns out she is Chip's daughter. Very shocking. But it's true. That's apparently that's canon now. And in this, Chip, for some reason, has an organization gang, or not a gang, like army, has the entire army set out to chase after the Yellow Rabbit because they somehow know about all this. But of course, there's a plot twist where their leader, at least to Oswald, is the Yellow Rabbit, and of course, they're luring him into a trap. So this leads to one of the deaths, couple of deaths where Gabrielle also tried to attack the Yellow Rabbit, but they both end up dying. And there's another one where Oswald tries to warn the people of the army while they're going into the Jeff's Pizza, and Chip ends up dying and also decides to bury himself into the pit. It's very dark and very sad. Oh, there's this other death where Oswald for some reason turns old and tries to tell his dad that he's here, but he doesn't believe him. Neither him or Jeff do, and he ends up living an entirely different life. It's very crazy. Any other notes with deaths that we need to mention? Not really. Not ones I found very interesting. Okay, well, there actually are two endings where for some reason Oswald ends up living with the rabbit family as a bunny rabbit family type thing. Very crazy, probably because of the bunny ears you collect. But I want to focus on this other section that happens. You see, there's 3 normal endings. All of them involve just the normal ending in the actual Into the Pit, but 2 of them involve you collecting, I think, a gold coin. Well, no, noticing a gold coin, and the other one again, but then it forces you to have the gold token. And this leads to a weird section where you play the arcade, and if for some reason Oswald becomes an 8-bit figure and is stuck in a VR game, and throughout the 8-bit game he goes around trying to escape from the Yellow Rabbit and ends up saving the 5 missing kids. So yeah, that's another thing to mention. The book actually confirms that it's actually 5 and not 6 like other people originally discussed about. Which is definitely could either make people happy or make people really sad, because I think there was once a theory that the 6th kid might have been Andrew or represents Charlotte, but I'm not sure. I can't wait to see all the theories, what other people think. But in the end of this, once he beats the arcade game, he wakes up back in home, but in present day, and he ends up saving the kids. And the purple guy gets arrested. Some reason, Oswald just saved the 5 minutes. I don't know. It's so confusing. I honestly don't understand this ending at all. It's even more of a coincidence that it actually happens in page 85, right before the other endings. Because the other endings are like in page 91, 104, and page 111. But this one, it's so odd. It's so confusing. I don't even know if this even confirms that this thing is in the canon. Because the only interesting I've seen related to the other games is that there's one moment where Oswald actually knows it's a doll. And he describes it as like it's Circus Baby. So also actually encounters Circus Baby at some point in the story. As like some little doll or something. And it actually ends up leading to his death. So it's actually one of the game overs. And I think that's about it of all the notes I've said, so let's try to theorize something about this, what any of this could mean. Personally, do I think this confirms Into the Pit as canon to the FNAF lore? No, not at all. It just it doesn't confirm anything. I'm probably missing something. Probably because of how disoriented this book was, for me at least, because of the twists and turnies. Even though it doesn't mean I don't like. It doesn't mean I don't like this. I do enjoy this type of new reading style. It's just it felt very different compared to the week before. And well, what was I supposed to say? I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is very, very confusing. I mean, I'm starting to feel like that this is not canon at all, honestly, or not in the game's timeline, just because of all the weird stuff that's happened. Because I don't really think there's actually an army out, a part of the army that actually hunts down characters like this, unless no, it doesn't seem. Well, to be fair, it leads to a game over, so it's probably not canon. But then again, it has to be. I don't know, man. This just made Into the Pit more confusing than it already was, and I'm just very, very, very confused. I guess we could talk about how there's 5 missing kids and not 6. This honestly just deconfirms anything. Now let's talk about the year placement of Into the Pit, because now we now have a more stretched way into where it could actually take place. Part of me wants to say 2025, just because 40 years later, but that seems like way too far along, and I don't think Oswald's dad's not that old, so it has to be like at the least 2020 or something, because that's when TikTok got popular, which was 2020. But then again, I don't feel like. But then again, TikTok was recent, so I'll have to go push it a little back to 2021. Which means this would take place after FNAF 3. Because I believe the theory that FNAF 3 takes place in 2015. Just because I... But that's maybe just because... So then I believe FNAF security breach help wanted stuff take place throughout the ends of 2020s. Like 2029, 2030 type stuff. But then again... They never mentioned anything about the Pizzaplex. But then again... No, I feel like they would have mentioned the Pizzaplex being made or something. But they are in a small town, or a dead town, so they probably don't know any of that. I don't know, this is all confusing. I really hope in the next story that's going to come out in April Fool's for some reason. It better not be an actual prank. Which is Escape the Pizzaplex, which is going to be about Cassie escaping the Pizzaplex, but not the ruined version. So it's like a prequel story, it's like something like that. But I think that is pretty much it. I really have nothing else to say. Hope you enjoyed this review and theory video. Let's do a little ranking, how I rank these stories. I think it'll be Last Place VIP, just because it's short and simple. Return to the Pit at second place, just because how there's just some parts that are ultra insane. And in first place, of course, the week before, just because it revealed lots of stuff about FNAF 1. That is all. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like, subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.